What if I told you that getting richer than 99% of people is actually easier than you think, and all it takes is just 30 minutes a day? Well, if you follow the strategy I'm about to share with you in this video, I promise you will make more progress in 1 year than most people will in a lifetime. And look, I started doing this a few years ago when I was completely broke. And today, even after making over $10 million online, this strategy is still something that I follow religiously every single day. So today, I'm gonna share it with you, tell you why it works so well, and show you how you can apply it to your life to get disgustingly rich. First, you need to understand how the average person operates and how to break free from this trap before it's too late. If you look around at what the average person does, you'll realize that most people never make any progress in their life. Most people think that the only way for someone to get rich is either by getting super lucky or by winning the lottery. They spend so much time thinking that the government or some outside force is controlling their life, and they feel that their fate is not in their own hands. So they go their entire life doing the absolute bare minimum. They have no goals, no life purpose, and when they do make a little bit of money, they instantly go out and spend it on some stupid stuff. They probably got a boring 9 to 5 that they don't even like, and after their job, their schedule consists of smoking, drinking, watching TV, and spending 4 hours mindlessly scrolling social media, burning the rest of their day doing God knows what. Therefore, their lives are completely miserable. There is almost zero productive work done. There is zero direction, and there is zero thought that goes into anything that they do. Now, I'm not judging anyone, but the saddest part about this is that they're just fine drifting along and letting life happen to them. They are literally playing life on autopilot and never take action to improve themselves. And when I stop to take a close look at it from an outsider perspective, it is just so bizarre to me to live life in this way. You know, we are living in one of the greatest times of history with an abundance of opportunities everywhere, yet most people spend their entire day numbing their brains and never pursuing anything worthwhile because of it. What I'm trying to say here is that the bar is so low these days. The competition is literally non-existent. So if you are willing to put in just 30 minutes of work every day, I promise you will obliterate 99% of people. Now, I know 30 minutes might not seem like a lot, but just that short amount of time towards something meaningful will turn into 15 hours of focused work in a month and 180 hours in a year. In 1 year, you can get almost 200 hours ahead of your competition. And to do that, I'm not telling you to meditate for an hour a day or making you wake up at 5 a.m. to go for a run like David Goggins, nor am I telling you to work for 12 hours a day for 6 months straight. The reason that I only ask for 30 minutes is that any of you watching can find time out of your day to do this. And if you follow these steps I'm about to share with you, you will succeed. I promise you. The first step is the most important, but gets constantly overlooked by beginners. And this right here is the foundation of all my success today. So here's the truth. Most people never make any bread because they don't believe that they can become rich. But I just want to tell you, no matter where you come from, it's possible to get richer than 99% of people. Look, I grew up with a single mom in massive debt, and when I decided to start my own business, I went all the way down to $30,000 in debt myself just a few years ago. But somehow, I still managed to come out of it a multi-millionaire in my 20s because of this principle I'm about to share with you right now. About 10 years ago, I learned the most powerful lesson ever about money from a man named Earl Nightingale in his book, The Strangest Secret. He said that if you take 100 people at age 25, all starting even, by the time they turn 65, 54 will be broke and dependent on others. 40 will retire with pension and government checks. 5 will still be working, and only 1 will be rich. He then goes on to explain that the difference between those who succeed and those who don't comes down to just one thing. Nightingale said, the only person who succeeds is the person who says, I'm going to become this, and then begins to work towards that goal. And what I learned from this is that you need to actually brainwash yourself to believe that you can get rich before anything else. You need to develop an unshakable belief and conviction that you can become rich. And the best way to do this is to reprogram your mind through constant self-education. Because the only way that you can make $1 million is that you believe you can make $1 million. Broke is not a condition of the wallet, it's a condition of the mind. That's why for the next 30 days, I challenge you to commit to reading 1 chapter per day of a book. It'll only take you 10 to 15 minutes, but the wisdom you'll gain is priceless. Because I grew up in an environment without any millionaires or successful entrepreneurs to look up to, I used books to single-handedly reprogram my brain. Books were my saving grace and laid the foundation for my future. They made me think I could get rich when no one else did. You just have to make sure you choose the right books. Many years ago, I started out by reading a book called As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, which taught me how to reprogram my thoughts and take control over my life. This book is like 30 pages. You can knock it out in a day or two. And I come back to this book multiple times per year. And then after that, I picked up a book called The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. And funny enough, this was the last book I ever read before I made my first $10,000 online. This right here is by far the best book I ever read on actually making money, and it genuinely made me believe in my mind that I could get rich. These books helped me think like the top 1%, and when I started to think like them, I started to act like them. My daily habits started to evolve. The way that I spent my time was starting to be different, and soon, after a couple years, I started to see my whole environment evolve as well. So I encourage you to get a physical copy of these books and read one chapter a day, because it allows you to download these life-changing philosophies directly into your subconscious mind. I mean, you could also watch educational stuff on YouTube like this, but if you're anything like me, it's so easy to get distracted. When I'm on my phone, I'm always switching between apps, so it's easy to watch a video, get inspired, learn something cool, but then instantly forget everything 10 minutes later. So just get a book. And it's funny because I know as I'm saying this, 95% of you won't actually sit down and even read one page a day, but it's fine because it backs up the whole point I'm trying to make in this video. The bar is so low. There's a small percentage of you that'll actually do it, and those are the ones that have the most potential to make it in life. And you get to decide who you want to be. Over time, this consistent self-education will give you the confidence that you can achieve anything you set your mind to, including becoming richer than 99% of people. Now, once you built this foundation, step number 2 involves setting a clear and achievable 30-day goal to put your new knowledge into practice. Most people will tell you to set 1 year, 5 year, and 10-year goals, but I'm telling you, that's some bullshit. Setting big, long-term goals is usually discouraging, especially if you're at the beginning. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't dream big or have those massive goals. I'm saying that you need to set targets that you can actually hit right now so you can start gaining momentum. Most people aim too high and fall short and then get paralyzed and lose all the desire to keep going. But the momentum you gain from hitting goals, even if they're small, is unmatched. So when you're goal setting, don't make your goal something vague like, I want to start a business and become a millionaire. It needs to be a clear and trackable goal, like I want to make $1,000 from dropshipping in the next 30 days. I want you to pick one main money-related goal, and don't aim for something out of your reach. You want to choose something that you genuinely believe you can achieve over the next 30 days. Then, you want to reverse engineer all the actions that you need to take to accomplish that goal and write it down. Make sure you put it somewhere where you can see it every single day. You need to figure out what skills do you need to learn. How much time do you actually need to put in? And what specific steps will you need to take every single day to make it happen? This will make everything so clear and make it really easy for you to take action every day. If at any point you don't know the answer to these 3 questions, that means that you're just lacking knowledge. But thankfully, we live in the information age, so you can go out and educate yourself on Google, going on YouTube, reading books, or finding a mentor who can give you that knowledge so that you know what next steps to take. Many people have done what you're trying to do. I promise that the answers are out there somewhere. You just need to find the right people or resources to tell you how to do it and then execute. So as a part of your 30-day goal, you should also learn a simple in-demand skill that will allow you to help people and charge them for your services. You can learn online skills like video editing, copywriting, or more hands-on skills like mobile detailing, lawn mowing, or window washing. These are all skills that help solve other people's problems, and if there's a need for it, people will be willing to pay for it. You know, there's a common misconception that you can make money, but it's actually impossible to make money unless you own a money printer. What you're really talking about is earning money. The only way for you to earn money is to convince other people to pay you in exchange for helping them out with a product or service. If you can learn and provide valuable skills to the world, you'll get paid. It's as simple as that. And if you feel stuck and you're not sure which skill you should pick, I just launched a new program with my boy Iman Gadji called the Digital Launchpad. For just $37, you're gonna get access to our elite group of multimillionaire friends that you can ask questions from and get real-time answers from every single day. Inside Digital Launchpad, we're personally going to teach you the best methods to go from zero to making your first $1,000 online, like copywriting, sales, social media marketing, and of course, dropshipping. I shared my entire blueprint of how I created a multi-million-dollar store, and I even created a store live step by step inside of this program and got my first sales in under 24 hours. Believe me when I tell you that this is without a doubt the best place to get started if you're looking to pick up a high demand skill and make money online. And you can get access to all this for just $37 at the link down below. So now that you set your goal for the month and picked a high demand skill to learn, the third step is one that might seem insignificant, but actually has the biggest impact in the long run. And that is to start collecting small wins every day towards your goal. You know, small wins build confidence and they keep you motivated on your journey. Success is built one small win at a time, day after day. And that's why I'm always saying another day, another W, because every day is a chance to get a win and they compound over time to something amazing. Another day, another W. Another day, another W. Another day, another W. Go ahead and comment another day, another W down below. But let's say your 30-day goal is to make $1,000 from a side hustle doing dropshipping. A small win is finding your first products growing on TikTok. Another small win might be building your first store. Another one could be making your first TikTok ad. Over the course of a week, you'd have literally launched a business from scratch if you just hit these small wins every single day. These little steps may not seem like much on their own, but when you get a small win like that every day, the compound effect slowly starts to kick in. And because you have this positive feedback loop, it'll give you the energy to keep taking action and working towards your 30-day goal. Even if you don't hit this goal in the short term, you'll be closer than when you started, because it's not about whether you hit your goals or not. It's about whether you wake up every day and make progress towards becoming your best self. And each little victory reprograms your mind to think that you are worthy of achieving what you want in life. And again, I'm not telling you to go out and build the next Apple or Tesla. If you want to get richer than 99% of people, you don't need that. You just need to take the first step. I see way too many people that don't achieve their dreams because they spend all day stressing about huge, life-changing goals. They're so busy worrying about how they'll make millions or how they'll buy that mansion that they never take the first step just to make $1,000. And then they end up in a state of paralysis where they're trying to figure out what the next 20 steps are, when all they need to do is just take that first step that is right in front of them. Just being willing to wake up every day to chase that small win will put you ahead of 99% of people. Everyone thinks that just because you have the big goal of making millions of dollars, you will make millions, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Manifestation doesn't work like that. Looking at yourself in the mirror, banging on your chest, and shouting that you're gonna get rich every day or reading the right books is not enough, but it's a great starting point. The truth is, only the people who show up every day, even if they don't see immediate results, and collect those small wins one at a time are the ones who end up being successful in the end. Because there will be days that you don't feel like looking at your computer screen. And there will also be days when absolutely nothing goes your way. Everybody has those off days. But the worst thing that you can do is fall back into your old habits. At the very minimum, if I'm having a terrible day, a small win that I know I can always collect is going to the gym and getting a workout. If I woke up late and started the day off rough, going to the gym for 1 hour can change the momentum of my entire day and put me back on track for a successful day to keep moving forward towards my goal. That's the power of a small win, and that's why you need to chase them every single day. Now, while it's important for you to stay disciplined in your life, it is equally as important for you to stay disciplined with your finances. That's why the fourth step is avoiding what I like to call money traps. Most people focus on how much money they make, but how much money you make doesn't really matter if you don't keep any of it. And the things that drain your bank account are what stop you from keeping your hard-earned money. I'm talking about going into credit card debt, spending hundreds of dollars eating out every week, and buying that expensive crap that you don't really need to impress people that you barely like. It's funny because I know people whose incomes are literally hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, but they're completely broke because they buy the expensive clothes, eat out almost every meal, and try to impress their friends and family by showing off. On the outside, their life looks great. They might look like they're having an amazing time, but let me tell you, they are completely miserable. These guys have no savings. Their lifestyle spending inflates with their income, and they are making zero progress in their life. And unfortunately, I know this because I've been there before. When I first started making money, I was living way outside of my means, and all it took was a couple mistakes to bring me all the way down back to zero. That's why it's so important to get in control of your money before your money takes control of you. Now, if you fall into these money traps, it'll feel like you're trying to climb up a huge mountain, but every single step forward you take, you're picking up a rock and putting it in your backpack. With every dollar you make, you just weigh yourself down with debt and bad spending habits. But by simply avoiding these traps, you're automatically putting yourself miles ahead of everyone else on your path to wealth. Most people are so weighed down that they can barely move because of credit card debt, car loans, and just an overall lack of financial literacy. Just by being a little bit smarter with your money, you'll be sprinting up that mountain towards the top 1%. And look, I'm not the most frugal guy in the world. I'm not saying you can't enjoy your money or you should never buy that $3 coffee from Starbucks. No, but get in where you fit in and stay within your means. Otherwise, you're going to end up playing the game on hard mode for the rest of your life. And if you think that I'm a hypocrite for saying this while driving my car, living in the house, wearing expensive watches, you have to understand that these items are such a tiny fraction of what I actually make. Most of these guys that I'm talking about will spend 50% of their total net worth on a nice car that costs them thousands of dollars a month to maintain, and the car itself is depreciating in value every second. It might be obvious that putting half of your net worth into a depreciating asset is a dumb decision, but trust me, there are people out there who actually do it every day. In fact, most people who have a car, their car is worth 10 times the amount that they have in their bank account just because of how easy it is to finance something like this, especially here in the United States. These car dealerships prey on uneducated people and sign them up for the most insane deals ever, keeping them crippled in debt for a lifetime. That's why, in my opinion, the most important trap to avoid at all costs is debt. It's literally like pouring your hard-earned money into a black hole that you'll never see again. So if you're broke watching this video, please don't get any credit cards, don't get no loans, don't get no financing for a car, don't do no buy now, pay later. And if you're trying to go to college but you can't afford it or get any scholarships, just skip it for now. Go out and get a job, start your own side hustle, do anything else. Because then if you want to, a couple years later, you can go back to college debt-free. Student loans will literally kill you. There are Americans who are still paying off their student loans into their 60s. I'm telling y'all, the system is so broken and it's disgusting. 77% of Americans are trapped in debt, paying interest to banks instead of building wealth for themselves. And just from avoiding this debt puts you ahead of over 3/4 of the world right off of the bat. Everyone wants to make more money, but the secret is avoiding money traps like debt and living a lifestyle you can actually afford. So then, when you do finally start to make money, you can actually keep some of it and reinvest it into your future. So if you're not already tracking your monthly spending and budgeting, you need to start doing this from a really young age. You might not be used to it at first, but just like any habit, it's something that you will pick up over time. Your first 30-day goal is just your launch pad. And if you follow everything I said, you will blow through it. And once you hit your first goal, the last step is to immediately set a new, bigger goal for yourself for the next 30 days. And once you hit it, you raise the bar again. If the first month you made 1,000, the next month you want to set your goal to be 2,000. Every month, continue repeating the actions that got you to your goal. Read your books daily to keep reprogramming your mind. Make a plan to achieve that new, bigger goal and get those small wins every single day, and try your best to avoid those money traps at all costs. And if you think that just doing the same thing over and over again is boring, it's because it kind of is. Making money is just doing the right set of actions over and over again for a long period of time until you become rich. There's no magic wand that will 100x your net worth overnight. For some people, they think that making $1 million is a complicated process that only a few very intelligent men know. In reality, making money is just becoming the best at a handful of skills, strengthening your mind, and executing ruthlessly over a long enough period of time. While everyone else is watching Netflix and making excuses, you'll be out there every single day putting in the work to transform your life. While they're living paycheck to paycheck, you'll be stacking cash and investing it back into yourself. And over a long enough time horizon, having bigger and bigger goals every month will compound like crazy. And as you smash through each goal, your eyes will start to open up to all the possibilities in the universe. Naturally, as you get better, you will begin to think bigger and look for greater opportunities. It's only when I started to hang out with millionaires and see how they operate day to day that I realized that these people are not that much different from everyone else. They simply decided to put in the work. And if you do the same, you can do it too and get to their level. Getting rich takes time, and you need to be patient. There will be days where the grind feels hard. It's going to be long nights, setbacks, and moments when you just want to give up. And there will even be months where you don't hit your goals. But if you zoom out on a long enough time horizon, if you show up every day, if you stay consistent with becoming a better person, and you invest in upgrading your skills every month, even for just 30 minutes a day, eventually you'll wake up and your life will be unrecognizable from when you started. And then when you look back, you'll realize that getting richer than 99% of people was actually pretty simple. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.